January soybeans closed sharply higher after a massive trade range of 44 cents today. It was also an outside reversal higher day, making a low below yesterday's low and then closing well above yesterday's high. Big day for the soybean market and very news driven. We'll get to that in a second. But the relative strength index, something I do want to point out, is at 77.5% on the January soybeans. That is a case of being rather overbought, almost an extreme case of being overbought. So while we did have that outside reversal higher day, which is a positive technical sign, do pay attention to the fact that we are reaching into overbought, into almost extreme overbought conditions for those January soybeans. The news for the day was that the details of the meeting between Chinese President Xi and U.S. President Trump were announced. That meeting happened what was Wednesday night for us here in the States. We heard immediately after the meeting that it had gone well, but we didn't hear any details. Those details came at about 6 a.m. Central Time. And those details were that China was going to buy 12 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans for this marketing year that we're currently in, and 25 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans for the next 3 successive marketing years, which is pretty good. These are not massive numbers, like unattainable numbers that you could argue the dollar amounts that were required from China in the phase 1 trade deal were astronomical. These numbers are not. The 12 million metric tons for this year is probably pretty close to what trade participants had been expecting. And the 25 million metric tons for the next 3 years is just slightly above the 15-year average at 26.3. So the fact that these are attainable numbers, I think, was maybe the most bullish factor that we had for the market. And now what we'll do is we'll put production back in focus. After the recent harvest that we had a very dry August. There are concerns that our national average yield has fallen below what the last USDA estimate was at 53.5. That was on the September WASDE report. Since the government shutdown, we've not seen the USDA update their number. And if that national average yield, and which means production number, were to fall, then all of a sudden we could start looking at a tighter balance sheet because of now these 12 billion metric tons of soybeans, U.S. soybeans going to China. So lots going on in the soybean market right now. Everybody stay tuned and you stay safe.